right, here is your 30-minute or so express ELDOA class. May the technology gods be with us, and mic working and battery charged. It's good to see you, Lena. Stand in the center of your mat. You're going to need your very padded mat for this workout. Feet directly underneath your frontal hip pointers, so your hip distance apart. Anatomical stance, just feeling the sense of your gravity line, taking your weight directly over the center of your foot, pointing your tailbone slightly down, drawing C6 slightly backwards to lengthen your neck, and finally relaxing your belly. Easy diaphragmatic breaths. Keep your hips right where they are. Let your arms hang. Let your arms be nice and loose. And pivot through the shoulders. One shoulder forward, one shoulder back. Respect the right side and left side of the body, so we're not crossing the midline. We're just creating a small rotation in the thoracic spine. Our rotational center is T7, T8, so that's where we're targeting. And as we begin our marching, keep that small rotation in this small segment of the body. So you can start slow, just lifting a knee and lifting a knee. Knees come up to hip height. And we have that small pivot of the sternum from right to left. And just begin to pick up the pace. We want a feeling of axial elongation. You're nice and tall through the center of your head, as if you had a vertical rod running straight up through your skull. Just pulling up the heart rate, efficiently warming up the body. Let's warm up the arms here with a forward and out. Nice and smooth. Doesn't mean easy. And right away, let's add that third plane, forward, out, and straight up. This is express, so I'm going to move you fast. We have another 15 seconds here. If you can lift your knees higher, go ahead and do that now. And for our final few moments, we'll just go straight up. It's quick, it's light. Keep the legs, descend the arms. Even though we're marching, feel for your center of gravity, that small chin in, that nice lift. Good mechanics throughout. All right, voyez stance, wide legs, internally rotate, bend and straighten a few times. We're staying on that center of gravity as if we're sliding straight down and straight up a wall. Keep those knees bent, add that pelvic tilt. Chest stays lifted. It's the sacrum that tucks under. Really isolate the movement at L4, L5, S1. And the best way to get a pivot here is to keep your knees bent. Last 3, 2, keep that pelvic tilt, extend those arms out. We'll translate just one direction, unilateral. The body is fixed from the belly button down. There's no movement in the legs or the pelvis. And other side, really slide it over. Moving your belly button over to one side and back to center. You can really open your hands, stretching the arms out east to west. And let's take this side to side. Good. Adding some range for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get set up for a lateral bend. Your hand can be on your head or overhead like I have it. We'll just do about 6 on each side. Be mindful of rotation. Right here, we want to be between 2 panes of glass. And take that straight over to the other side. Spiral the arms outward so we have an external rotation at both shoulders. Last 2 and 1. Come back to more of a wide gravity stance. We're setting up for a squat position. Your toes can turn out just slightly and your feet can be a little wider than your hips. Take your arms forward. We're going to lead at the knees. So just bend your knees, allow your knees to come forward some, but keep weight in your heels. Now, as we squat, it's the sensation of a straight down and a straight up. So we get that by leading at the knees. I'm going to avoid leaning forward. All right, you can have a small lean forward, but it's not much. Let's add the arms here. Go for 10. 9, I'm very actively pushing my heels down, working for mobility in my ankles. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2. On your last one, hold the position. Maybe your chest can come a little bit higher. Your weight can come back into your heels, and you're going straight down through the center of the foot. Just hold. And stand it up. Turn to one side. So you're coming into what would look like a high lunge. In yoga, we have a nice wide stance, so your balance is there for you. Come into a position where your back knee is a little bit bent and your front knee is directly over the ankle. This is a little different, so watch the form here. You'll hinge forward just slightly at the waist, so you have a long line between shoulder, knee, and foot. From here, bend your back knee to sink a little lower and straighten your back knee. So I'm keeping lean forward and challenging the right glute. Be mindful that we don't let the knee travel forward. It's more of a down and an up. The more your chest is leaned into it, the more you're loading the right glute. And that's what we want, glute exercise here. Good. Final 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're just going to change sides, setting up a nice wide stance, looking for balance first. And just like we were in a high lunge, that's a good place to start. From here, hinge forward. It'll look a bit like this. You'll bend your back knee to dip low, and then just stand it up. Most of my weight is in my front leg, specifically through the heel. Nice and controlled on the way down and up. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Have a seat. Setting up for your good mornings, grab your knees, lift your chest. Remember, it's a small lean back with a tall spine. Move here at the pelvis, posterior tilt, anterior tilt. Right, let your abs relax a little. This isn't the place we're working core. We're mobilizing the spine. Push your belly button backwards, then up and forwards. Remember to open your knees slightly if you need more range. Rock forward onto the pubic bone, back onto the tailbone. And we'll just pick up the pace. Go for 6 and 5. Keep your height. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Put your hands behind you. Your fingers can face either way. And it doesn't matter how far away your hands are from your body. The important thing is here is that you lift your chest rather than sinking into your shoulders. Cross one ankle over one knee. This is like a modified figure 4 stretch. And obviously, the closer your chest and legs are together, the bigger the stretch. If you need more, just walk it in a little closer. And change sides. Do your best to keep your pelvis level, weight even on your sit bones. Excellent. Plant your feet back down on the mat. Extend your arms forward and roll down onto your back. Setting up for the general ELDOA, hug your knees in. Your arms will cross like an X. Your back is flat. Extend opposite arm, opposite leg. Really flex your foot as you take it up to the ceiling. Toes peel back to your face. And change sides. Big reach. Leg comes up for 4, 3, 2, 1. And switch. Eyes are facing downward. The knee you're pulling, really hug it in nice and tight. We're going for 8 total. As that foot goes up to the ceiling, anchor your tailbone down. 1 more to each side. Good. Come up to sitting. Set up for your L4, L5 position. I'll do this one from the side. Knees are open at 90, 2 fist distance apart through the heels. Take a moment to find your gravity line. You can really use your arms to help yourself out. We're sitting right on the center of the pelvis. Flex your feet. Angle your big toes towards the floor. Before we go up into the posture, can you lift your chest up a little higher, creating some axial extension through the crown of your head? Arms go forward. Make big stop hands, spreading your fingers, pushing through your shoulders. Externally rotate. Here we'll take one arm up. It does not matter which one. We'll do both. Feel the spiral. As the top arm spirals up, the forward arm spirals forward. Keep your base even. Your pelvis is your base. Good. Breathe a little space into your spine, into your shoulders. Change arms. Your breastbone is still pointing straight forward. There's no rotation. Stay right on that center. Feel your shoulder blade lift. Feel the forward shoulder blade press against your rib cage. From here, take both arms up. We want a small pulling back of C6. That's the base of the neck. We say double chin here. Actively push your knees down as you push your arms up. Repeat your mantra to yourself. Inhale, you grow taller. Exhale, you maintain your spine. We're only going up, so don't give any away. Drive your sit bones down in an effort to lift. Can you peel your toes back a little bit more? If you are not at or near your 100% effort, go there now. Always we can get a little taller. Maybe the arms come back closer to the ears, but watch the head here. Chin stays in. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring one arm down at a time. Excellent. Just relax the feet. Okay, so the legs are going to stay where they are. Take the right leg only and straighten it so that your foot is directly in front of your hip. Pelvis is square, right? If it went off center, get it to go straight forward. Flex your right foot, driving the back of the knee down. This is a hamstring stretch, myofascial stretch. In your mind, drive the heel forward as you pull the sit bone back. You should already feel a good hamstring stretch. The foot does an inversion. The hip does an internal rotation. From here, sit nice and tall. Your arms go straight forward. And then just lean a little. So it's more like I want to take my tailbone and stick it out. That's going to create a big hamstring stretch. If hinging straight forward is not quite enough for you, you can go slightly out to your right. You will really feel that in the outer hip. But I think if you're flexing your foot and internally rotating at the hip joint, you should feel a very big hamstring stretch. Give it 3 more rounds of breath. Drive the knee down. Okay, sit up, relax your arms, keep the legs relatively the same. We're now going to open the hips, so my left foot is going to go inside of my right leg. This is going to be a more passive stretch. Your hand can go on your leg or inside of your leg. The opposite arm, my left arm, is going to go up, and I'm just going to take it over into a side bend, but I'm going to be a little lazy about it, and I'm going to let my arm drop. Pick a spot you could just hang out for a moment and take a few deep breaths. Right, we're not chasing sensation here. We're just allowing the body to be in this shape. Roll that left shoulder back just slightly. And we'll do the same thing on the other leg, but I'm going to turn around. So coming into it slightly different, start in your staff pose. This time your right knee will bend and drop out to the side. We're working the left leg. Flex your left foot. The foot will do an inversion. Toes still peel back to your face. Your hip joint does a big internal rotation. Already big stretch here. Find the arms. Hinge it forward, like you're taking your tail feathers and sticking them out. Deep breaths here. This should be a really strong stretch here. Good. Drive the back of your knee down, and remember, the angle will determine where on your hamstring or your IT band you feel this one. Can you draw that left sit bone backwards and actively push your left heel forwards? Ay, ay, ay. Sit all the way up. Turn your hips. So now your pelvis is at an angle. Your foot is inside of the thigh. We'll extend the right arm up and find our lazy lateral bend, some inner thigh stretch. You can allow the arm to rest. You know you've gone too far if you feel that immediate sensation to pull out of the posture. We're going to be here for about 5 more deep breaths. Roll that right shoulder open. Come all the way up. Cross your legs. We'll do one more ELDOA posture for T6. Bring your fingertips together. Now remember, your feet can be flexed. You do not, if you're not very open in your hips, not a problem. There you are. I'll show this variation. Your fingertips are together. Your palms are not touching. But I want you to find the tallest lift you can on your sit bones. Think about your sit bones as your 2 points that stick straight down into the floor. If I asked you to float your head away from your shoulders, you would be able to do that, creating a little space in your neck. Lift your sternum up towards your chin. Now keep all that lift. Bring your hands over your head and reassess. If your head went forward, draw your chin back. We'll do this together. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, raise your arms. Right away, establish those belly breaths. Separate your hands and allow your shoulder blades to lift a little bit more, and then press your entire palms together. Good. Your shoulders should be way up into your ears. Really push through your arms. Right? Push through the elbows. Right, now decide, have you leaned forward? Have you leaned back? Be right on your center of gravity. Good, a lot of effort, maybe a little shaking, push, push, push. Like your fingertips touch the ceiling, you always have a little bit more. Your lungs will feel constricted in this position. Breathe through your belly. "15 seconds to go. Heavy lifting here. Even as your shoulder blades are rising up, grow your neck a little taller, a little longer. Final 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, descend the arms. Excellent job. Find tabletop. Spread your fingers for a few cat-cow. That should feel really good. One more. And we'll finish this class with a long child's pose. Separate your knees nice and wide, feet together. Stretch your fingertips forward. And relax your forehead into the mat. Notice how much mobility you have in your back and your shoulders. Let your breath soften and return to normal. Walk yourself back up to sitting. Thank you for joining me for class. I hope you enjoyed it.